Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the moderator, Deandra, here with Bill Goldberg. I see you're in the garage. It's looking
I'm getting
good.
there. I'm getting there. Look, I'm
Yeah,
getting
look at
there.
that. Now you're not supposed to lift too much.
I'm not supposed to lift anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
I tell you what, the stem cell process is absolutely fabulous. I'm not going to sit here and sing its praises all day, but the biggest problem is I can't freaking do anything really. I
right.
mean, you can do personal training and you can do movement, but it's quite obvious that the joints that you got the injections. I get 15 injections in my spine, and so
Yeah.
I can't compress. I can't compress my spine in any way, shape, or form. So it sucks. I'm running around
Right.
like a chicken with his head cut off. I got to stay busy just so that I'm
But you
out of
can
that gym.
stretch, right? You can start.
Oh yeah, I can stretch. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
You can
sucks. I go
yawn.
up in my gym every night and I stretch, and I do plyometrics and I do like planks and shit that I never thought I'd be doing especially at
Yeah.
58 years old. But
Well, I'm saying like you as you're getting into it and getting ready to lift weight again, you can do the stretches, you can do like your rehab workouts,
oh
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so you're not just doing nothing.
Well,
You
come
can,
on, man. Comparatively, yes. For me, that is freaking doing nothing. And again, I'm going to the Arnold Classic in 2 days, where the biggest, baddest dudes in the world are going to be
yeah,
walking around. It's all good, man. I feel freaking fantastic. I spoke with BioAccelerator yesterday. We
yeah.
downloaded, a lot of the information, and they say just keep sticking to it. The biggest thing is, and I'm gonna text this to you right now so you can put it on. The biggest thing is my diet is absolutely unbelievable. It's I don't know if you I don't know, that's kind of gross, especially considering I used to eat so much differently. But um yeah, dude. I was late with the podcast this morning 10 minutes because I had to ingest my second meal of the day, which consisted of that stuff that I just texted you. And it's like a cornucopia of stuff that cleans you out like every 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this up on the YouTube channel. All right.
So that's
What
my second breakfast of the day, right?
and what is it? I see
Exactly.
some avocado and
Yeah,
looks like some eggs
that's
in
a
there.
half of
The
a
super rare
gigantic.
eggs. It's like $40
Yeah.
worth of eggs for some reason.
Well, at least now. I mean, crazy. Jesus Christ. Eggs
Yeah.
are nuts. Yeah, but it is what it is. I had to beg them to let me eat a bunch of eggs. So that's 9 egg whites, 3 egg yolks. That's a half of a huge Haas avocado. That's 2 pieces of gluten-free bread, which
Okay.
I mean, my God, I'd never
I
thought
didn't
that
even think
I'd
you'd ever say the words gluten-free bread.
trust me, dude. Trust me. I had to go to the grocery store and buy avocado oil yesterday just to
Yeah.
it's just
That I've
it's
got though. That I use all the time
I've never used it. I never
instead of
knew
the
anything
butter and
about
stuff.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm going to use from now on. That and olive oil. But yeah, man. So in the eggs are shiitake mushrooms, um, sweet potatoes, onions, and turkey bacon. it's,
Okay.
it's crazy, man. So yeah, I don't know.
Welcome to the New World Order, right?
Well, it's ironic you say that. Yes. I don't know, man. Again, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but it's completely made me feel like a different human being. I don't know if it's the diet, the not dipping Copenhagen thing, the stem cells. Um, it's just truly an absolute life changer,
Yeah.
and it's obviously a combination of all the above.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know exactly which one to pinpoint is the most representation of why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. But hey, um,
But
it's
it's good.
awesome.
Like you're good. You're jacked on energy
I
the
am.
past
I
few weeks.
it's like I'm on crack. I mean, if I don't know what crack's like, but I would I would imagine I cannot stop. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. there's so much shit going on right now with the TV show, you know, going out here soon, and then I'm getting fully entrenched into YouTube again. I got the a great camera guy. I got Dennis Collins's editor from Coffee Walk. So he's fairly local. And then I got one of his camera guys in Dallas that can fly down here in 30 minutes, spend, you know, a couple days here and get 5-6 episodes done. We're actually going to do the sleigh.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit. There it is in the background.
We're going to do that for an episode. We're going to shoot it tomorrow.
Okay.
And I've got the guys from Hero Covers coming in today. We're going to shoot them tomorrow. They've got some surprise for me, which is going to be awesome. I hope it's a cover for the sleigh or something like that. Something cool. They just did they've got something that went seriously viral. I think it's a photo shoot they did with Hot Wheels, because they just garnered Hot Wheels as an account. And man, there's great kids, great product. First time I meet them, I get to meet them in person.
Yeah. Oh, I met with them a few times. Both the guys. Yeah. They've
Great
come by
kid.
up here. We've had great conversations about the business and how they're growing it and what they're doing with the covers. And yeah, I'm trying to help them out on a few things here as well. And I'm happy to work with them. By the way, another two guys, a lot of energy, very excited about what they're doing. I love their passion behind it. They make some cool stuff.
And it's a cool product, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool
it's
product.
something for me these days. They didn't have to sell it to me. It sells itself, right?
Yeah.
And you don't feel like a shill. You don't feel like you're you know, doing a freaking advertisement. It sells itself. I haven't put anything out except for photos of the covers that they've given me, and they're cool as shit. I really love them. They gave me one for the Lawman, but I can't put it on the Lawman until I get it out of the bubble, because you don't want to put a cover on the car that's in a bubble. But excuse me, I would imagine tomorrow we're going to push it out, put that cover on, man, and do some video for the YouTube channel. And man, there's stuff that you don't even know about that we've got going on.
Yeah.
Don Schumacher, so DSR, like I said, is going to jump on board and try to take over the direct connection crate motor program, right? And so I've got the DSR 1200 that I put together on the assembly line that's going in the Coronet, right? Well, the twin turbo car that I have, built by Mario from Gearhead Fabrications, you know, was the first Charger to be built to go in the 7s, right? We haven't done it yet because I don't have the cojones to drive that car yet. But guess who's getting into the twin turbo program? DSR.
DSR, yeah.
So Mario offered up my car to DSR as the mule. So out goes the motor that we just built up to 1,700 or 1,400 wheel horsepower. That's absolutely a beautiful motor. It's not even broken in yet. We're pulling it out, throwing DSR's package in there with the twin turbo.
Okay.
Boom.
Now, but you don't know if the DSR package is going to stay in that car.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the plan, but they got to develop. They got to do the R&D.
100%.
Yeah.
But my car will be the mule car, and Mario will do the R&D for it, and I will help him with it. We're going to go down to Bradenton and race down there. My goal is to get it ready for the Texas Mile next year.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, man, I mean,
well, and that's a good car. The car's already built and set up and tested a little bit. So it's a great development platform for that engine, because they'd have to, you know, build another car around it, and this is ready to go.
It's ready to go. It's fully caged. Mario's done all his due diligence getting that other motor, you know, completely dialed in, and the car dialed in for the twin turbo system. So why not use it as the playground for what DSR wants to do, because it's plug and play. Everything's ready. Just pop it in. I'm willing to let them beat the hell out of it to get the engine fine tuned. And guess what? At the end of the day, I'm going to have an extra 1,700 to 2,000 horsepower motor sitting around. Yeah. Well, why do you think I did it? Right. And it's a fun deal. Those guys are both terrific entities to deal with, whether it's DSR or whether it's Gearhead. And it's fun, man. I'm 58 years old. Hopefully, season 2 on Carlectables, we get to shoot that thing doing the Texas Mile
Yeah.
and having Chad with us from DSR. So yeah, and Chapman Dodge.
Yeah.
So Chapman Dodge in Scottsdale.
And then now it's like, what do we do with that extra motor?
I got another one for you. So I did a deal with Chapman Dodge. So
Okay.
so I acquired the Elephant.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've made a deal over the weekend, and so the Elephant's going to go in the M715.
Right.
The DSR 1200 that I built already is going to go in the Coronet, and then the motor that's being pulled from the twin turbo right now will hopefully sit on a stand and be a beautiful eyepiece for a little while, and then we'll figure out what to put it in.
Right.
I'm thinking a 75 Power Wagon or something. Something ridiculous.
Right. Until like you're sitting down having, coffee these days because you're clean
One
now.
cup. Yes.
With Mario and Dave Salvaggio, and they're going, "Hey, you got this engine over here. I've got some thoughts on it. We'll see what we're gonna do next."
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. That was Ansira Dodge making sure that I filled out the questionnaire. I broke the front left axle on the TRX. I told you about that.
Yes, yes.
And we went in and got that fixed last week. And did I tell you about the rebate check that I got from the Demon 170?
A rebate check? No.
Unbelievable, right? So so one of the dealers gets audited. They pull my file, find out that I was overcharged for the D170, right? So I actually got paid from a dealership as opposed to having to pay a dealership.
Yeah.
That's the most unbelievable thing. It was like Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a bad day.
That's how I reacted to it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call because it was the GM that texted me, and I'm like, oh man, do I owe him money? What did I do? I mean, I don't know. So I called him, and he goes, "Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah," and I'm like, oh, what? And he told me. So, I guess it's happening everywhere. And there's some class action suit going on, and I don't know what's going on. But as a consumer, anytime you can get paid by the dealer is an anomaly in and of itself. So
right. Yeah. All right. So just kind of following up on the Cobra project, because I know that's kind of top of mind right now. You've been working going back and forth with the guys from Cerakote and kicking around the ideas of what you're going to coat, what you're not going to coat, running a few samples and things like that. So, yeah. So where are we now? I know you're excited about it, and I think the guys are coming by again today or tomorrow. So, all right. So now we're looking at one of the gauges.
Yeah, and I've got the other gauge with the other ring on it I could put next to it, but we know what those look like, right?
Yeah.
So this is an example of the ring itself. I'm not going to do that because the glass will come out. But
the glass will come in. You don't want to fuss around with it right now. But I mean, from here it's kind of a satin black, but I don't know if it's just a shade of black. But yeah, looks good.
It's really nice, man. It's a really thin layer. It's durable. It's heat resistant. I don't have to worry about heat inside the cockpit too much, but I mean, it's truly everything that I wanted it to be. The color's killer. The only issue we're having over there is that their blast booth isn't big enough for the side pipes.
Right.
So we're going to have to go farm that out, and actually I'm going to drive out and I'm going to blast them myself, which is going to be fun. We'll do that for the YouTube channel. Anytime I can emasculate myself on television or on YouTube is an opportunity I'm not going to pass up. But yeah, man, I'm very happy with what the finished product looks like. When I see it on a side pipe, when I see it on the header tubes, when I see it on the glass, on the window frame,
Yeah.
It's going to be really badass. I mean, really cool. And the cool thing is also they can laser etch my logo into anything I want. And so, the iconic gas cap on that Cobra, they're gonna do Goldberg's garage on top of it. It's gonna be really bitchy, man. This
Yeah.
car is gonna be even cooler than I thought it was gonna be. Now today, Clint from CGC is coming out, and he's bringing this dude Manny Amaya, and Manny owns Manny's Custom Builds. It's ironically right 50 yards away from the Cerakote place. And what's he specialize in? Aftermarket Cobra builds.
Okay. That's
So
good.
I mean, thank you. So one of the issues we were having uh, was the fact that the 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 roll bar is too short, right? So all of the
Yeah.
stock sizes for a Cobra roll bar literally come up to my shoulder,
Right.
which does absolutely no good whatsoever.
I think it's just you're too big.
Well, it's like I'm sitting on a high seat too, a high chair at the same time. I
Yeah.
mean, fortunately, this guy's probably got 15 to 20 builds in his garage. They're all aftermarket Cobras. They're different builds, different manufacturers of the vehicles, and so he's got options that I can look at. So he doesn't like the 1.5 inch tube. He goes to 2 inch tubing, and
Okay.
he has versions where the vehicle has the single hoop, has the double hoop, has the bar that goes all the way across that kind of envelops the whole cockpit. Um, and I never thought that I would actually like that style at all.
Yeah.
Um, nor would nor did I think I'd really care about the passenger, because Wanda doesn't usually drive with me, or no one really drives with me in that car because it's
Yeah. I've been in
it's
that
too,
car with you.
yeah, but it's kind of scary, right? So,
Yeah.
but it's really cool to see all the options side by side, because then you don't have to guess, right? So you're like, okay, it's 1.5 inch tubing. I think two is going to look good, but you don't know until it's there. It's in your vehicle, or you've seen it before it's installed. Shit, he's got so many vehicles over there with a different type of roll bar. You can just pick and choose. So
Yeah.
I think that I'm going with the 2 inch. I'm going with the hoop that goes all the way across. Um, we raised it up just like 2 inches from normal, and then the cool thing is that he's got an option. His seats, the center cushion comes out of the seats. It's a Velcro. So it comes out. So you can chop that some bitch in half or 3/4 and put like a little pancake seat, and then it'll lower me down 3 inches in the
Yeah.
vehicle. So therefore, and he's bringing one of the seats over today. So we're going to fit it. I don't know how I'm going to get up there. That's going to be interesting. But we're going to fit it. And one thing that I did find out along the way, the process, is that when they did the fiberglass work, they covered the holes up.
It's a weird move, but now I guess there's an advantage to it because now you can start from scratch with the roll bars. But I'm not sure why they would do that to begin with. It seems weird. So
Very
I was
weird.
thinking back, Adam Carolla got Paul Newman's first championship car, which actually was a Triumph
Yeah.
TR6. And our friend Bill Warner, that used to run the Amelia Island Concours, owned the car in the Bob Tullius Championship livery before Adam changed it to the Newman stuff. And that car, as a race car, has the single hoop that you're talking about. And I was just online going to an old photo when we had the car
Yep. That's
delivered.
it.
So yeah, this is the TR6, as you can see. Now this is the Bob Tullius livery before we changed it to the Newman livery.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the width of the car. It's one full roll bar with two down pipes and a crossbar. And obviously because it's set up for racing, it's meant to be beefy. It leans back a little bit. You can see in some of the photos, but it's even as a race car that mostly has one seat, it's a full width bar. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea that, you know, this type of style was done on various roadsters back in the day. You're right, it looks good. This one obviously has all the roll padding on it as well because there's a driver in it. He's got a helmet, and your helmet kind of bounces off the thing, but um, probably don't need that in your street car, and it doesn't look quite as good. But yeah, it's
Well,
just kind of
well,
cool.
we can customize it and put it in any location and any angle we want. But overall, I think it looks bitchin', man. I mean, I did not think I was going to like it nearly as much as I do. Um, but I think here's another thing: when it's black, it hides it a little bit,
Yeah, it does.
right?
Yeah.
And I never thought about that either until I saw it yesterday. And so, practical application, you don't know until you see it. And so, I'm really excited about getting this damn thing done. And we're getting closer and closer by the day. They're coming out today. Hopefully, we rectify the seat situation and we make a decision on the roll bar and full steam ahead.
The mirrors on that, because it's a street car, those mount to the window frame.
Yes, they are now. I don't like the ones that mount to the body itself. That's the traditional location. There's a lot of options that, well, not a lot. There's two options that you can have. You can either go off the frame, uh, or you can go on the window frame. And I truly like these that we have. Um, they're very small.
Yeah.
Um, they'll do the job. I think they're ornamental at the same time, but functional nonetheless. And I don't know. Those I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to be able to tell until they're installed. Um, but I think that's going to be the way to go. You know.
Yeah. And mounting up a little bit higher on the window frame will probably make it more functional for you because you sit high in the car. Like you said, you can experiment with the seat to sit a little bit lower,
Yeah.
which will help determine if it's comfortable with that seating position. You can still
Mm-hmm.
see the gauges and out the window and the clearance you want. Then it determines the roll bar height for it, and then the mirror height. Like once you get the seating position to where you want it, then all the other pieces can fall into place around it. But yeah, as we have a video somewhere up on YouTube with the GQ Car Collector Show. We drove around in that, and like, yeah, as you sit up tall in that car, and you're basically looking over the windshield, having the
Oh yeah.
mirror so far down low, it's not that great, right? Like
No.
it has to be up a little bit higher, or you have to sit quite a bit lower.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's another part that I didn't know until I took the car apart. The seats don't mount flush to the vehicle itself. There's like risers, right? So
Okay.
it's a piece of metal, probably a foot long on either side, about 3 inches wide and about 3 inches high.
Yeah.
So if I
Seems
can put
high.
something up under, if I can put metal underneath and give it structure, then I can. That gives me 3 inch. Every guy needs 3 inches, right? I mean, who's not gonna? What dude's not gonna? Yeah. So we'll pass over that. But yeah, that gives me 3 inches right there
Yeah.
before I even do anything with the new seat. And what's cool also is his seats. He has the option of putting sliders on it, so I
Yeah.
can go back and forth. And I sat in this. This girl had a vehicle being uh, it wasn't being built, it was being serviced yesterday, and I used it as the guinea pig to sit in to see about the roll bar. Man, the cockpit, it was unbelievable. It was actually like a regular car, kind of. It
Yeah.
wasn't like shoving both of my legs in and trying to worry about my knee on where the yes,
Or the lower dash and the
the
steering
dash.
column and
Yeah,
the yeah.
yeah, because your knee hits it every single time. Well, I actually had room and the option to actually put my seat up. So it's cool to be able to find this place. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. It's right down the road. I'd never heard about it in the last 6 years I've lived here, and it's really cool to actually have options for a car like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and listen, I mean, that car wasn't meant for someone your size. So now being able to go back to the drawing board and make it work. And I I know when you had it before, it was just like it's one of these processes where you got offered this really cool engine and you were like, put it in the stupidest thing you could possibly put it in. And they're like, it's light, it's nuts. So it wasn't really designed around you. It was a fun project, but it was always kind of awkward to get in and drive, other than
Absolutely.
for a few minutes just to be kind of a scary ride along, kind of something crazy and fun. But now it could it can be built around you and be a little more, even more enjoyable.
But see, I don't know. I mean, in a way that's really good, but in a way that's extremely bad. I mean, think about it, because I'll be a lot more comfortable in the vehicle.
Yeah.
I'll have more room to really drive it. I won't have to adhere to its constrictions. I'll be safe with the roll bar. It'll actually save me if I flip the car, right? Um,
Yeah. It doesn't
the
mean you should
brakes will
try to
be.
flip the
I
car.
know that. I'm just telling you that it's like having a 1700 horsepower twin turbo as opposed to a 500 horsepower twin turbo that doesn't have a cage in it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to provide a wonderful experience. I can't wait. I'm going to be doing nothing but giggling from ear to ear or smiling from ear to ear. But yeah, man, hopefully after today, we're a little bit closer to getting the damn thing done.
Yeah. All right. Let's just take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, so you got the Cobra project in the works. These guys are coming by, do some measurements on the seats, the roll bars, talk to the Cerakote guys a little bit more. You've got the new crew that you're going to be working with on Goldberg's garage, so you can get back in there and start shooting a bunch of stuff. What else is, because I'm looking at it behind you for those of you watching it on YouTube. The garage looks great.
Thank
What
you.
else are we going to see on the YouTube channel? You got the hero cover guys coming in.
Yeah, hero cover guys are coming in. We're going to be shooting all day tomorrow with them. I think the second part of the day, we're going to finally get the sleigh on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I've had it since 2 days before Christmas. We're all busy, man. I've been out of the country. I've been doing this. I've got every excuse in the book. But the fact is that people need to see that thing sooner than later. And it's going to be nice to be able to get a video together and get it out there and at least get some information to everybody who's got questions about it, because it's one of the coolest things I've ever freaking seen.
So we talked a little bit about it. We did a quick sneak peek, but again, I don't think people realize, like, it started as a real car. It's got an engine in it. It's not a big fiberglass shell for TV.
Oh, and here's again another insightful backstory, right? I had a 2017 skinny tire car,
Yeah.
which is my black 6-speed, and I wanted to wide body it. This is 2019. The only wide bodies out up until that point was the 2018 Demon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 19, they came out with the wide bodies, and they came out with a red eye, and I was doing the Santa Claus commercial. It was like weeks before Christmas. And I was doing everything that I could to find the templates and find out exactly how Dodge did the wide body without knowing, right? So I got every mule car photo offline that I could find. And I got a hold of Savaggio, and I'm like, listen, I know you know how to get this done. And so I wanted to do it with the 2017 6-speed. And I walk in one day to the commercial, and I'm like I said, I'm all over the place trying to find templates, trying to find any video I can of them building the fender flares.
Yeah.
I walk in, and I've said this story before, but now it's going to tie, right? I walk in to set, and set is Santa Claus's workshop. So Santa Claus's workshop, if it's a Dodge commercial, has freaking car parts all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? First thing I see on the ground is a freaking fender with a fender flare on it. And I'm like, oh my God, if I had 2 of those, then I'd be halfway there. I'd be halfway there. And I'm freaking Santa Claus. and they're just sitting here, man. I'm wondering if I can steal them, right? I'm wondering if I won't. And I obviously can't really hide, and I wouldn't steal anything anyway. And so I walked up to a couple of the suits who 9 times out of 10 aren't really car guys. And I said, I'm trying to build a wide body. I've been looking for fenders like that for so long. Is there any way Santa Claus at the end of this shoot could maybe garner those 2 fenders with the fender flare on it? They said, absolutely not. And so every day,
why you don't want to send them home? Come on, guys.
Exactly. So every day I'm looking at the things when we're shooting. I'm like, oh man. And I look at them really closely, and they've got rubber grommets on the outside, right? And if you look at any video, you look at any shots, the only wide body car with those rubber grommets on it is the mule freaking car, right?
Okay. Yeah.
For the wide body program, because they didn't know exactly aesthetically how they wanted to present that fender flare. So I go in the next day and I look at it real close, and then I look and then I take a picture of it, and then I look online, and I'll be damned if that wasn't the mule car, right? And those had to be off the mule car. And then the shoot's over with. One of the guys comes up and he says, you know what? If something happens and those aren't here, then it's no big deal. We won't say anything. And so within, like, I think 3 minutes, they were in the back of my freaking car. And so this is a really long story, and I'm going to go through it on the YouTube channel. But let's just say that when we've got the sleigh, Rob Hart and I are co-owners of the sleigh. One of Rob Hart's and my really good friends is a guy named Mark Trussell. You know who Mark Trussell is, right?
Yeah, I just saw him in January. Barrett.
Yes, Mark Trussell was one of the guys who designed the sleigh and you know that wide body program. I've got pictures of the car that they turned into the sleigh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, man, this is really cool. The freaking car that was the sleigh was the mule for the wide body program. And those are the freaking fenders. And it makes complete sense that the fenders that they would have there are the ones that came off of the freaking car.
Yeah, right.
That they converted, that happened to be the mule car that has the red eye motor in it that's got 30,000 miles on the vehicle. Right? So the car they used as the mule for the wide body and the fender flares, they're not going to throw it away. Why? They can't sell it. They turned it into the sleigh.
Yeah.
I've got the fenders and the fender flares. So
and the sleigh now. So
and the sleigh. And I mean, it's just a killer story. I mean, hey, if this was a Yanko Camaro back in the day and I had the flares off, I mean, think of the value of that, right? And just the cool story. And I've got the picture. I've got the picture of them converting the mule car right there into the sleigh. They superimposed the drawing of the sleigh over the car itself, right? And Trussell's holding the photo at Rob's house, and they sent me a picture of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'll get it out there. I'll get it to you. But what a cool freaking story. I mean,
and you know, I didn't really think to ask this at the time, but does it start?
Yes.
Because it's got an engine in the dash.
I didn't even know it had a full motor in it. I mean, I really didn't.
Is there a fuel tank in the back?
I don't know. I haven't looked under the car because the only thing under the car looks exactly normal underneath from what I can see from here, except for it's got casters on it, right?
Yeah.
It has a fully functional engine, but it has to have a fuel tank or a reservoir in the engine compartment that holds a small amount
tank,
of fuel.
Just like a little hopper tank.
Yeah, but there's some kind of little generator that's in the place of like a battery that if you plug in to the wall, you can start the car.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's fully functional in that
Because it
respect.
has like lights and stuff on it. And when they
Yes.
displayed it like at auto shows, they wanted to
Yep.
be able to power up and stay powered up for a week somehow. So there's some sort of
It's plugged in.
inverter of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna have to watch the YouTube channel and see because I'll go top to bottom on it. But the damn thing is cool as shit, man. I mean,
Okay. But
and it's a six
now,
speed.
now, if it does start somehow and there's a fuel tank or whatever, now you have to figure out and do that on the YouTube channel because I kind of just ruined it for you. If it
No,
doesn't,
I can do it 100%. All I got to
yeah,
do, because I did it.
because if we can't hear it, then we can't. It's like it doesn't
Well,
exist.
I would think that it would start. I know that the lights come on, but I would think that it would start. I'm not positive, but
You
we'll
kind of
see.
have to, yeah, you have to.
I'm going to
Is
call
there some
Trussell
sort
when
of?
we get off the phone. I'm calling Trussell, and I'm just going
That's
to.
the best way to do it. Just ask him. Does the goddamn thing start?
I'm not going to waste time. Yeah, I'm going to ask him 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, listen, I gotta do a YouTube video and it's gotta start. If we can't hear it, I don't know if it's
Hey,
just got open headers on it or is there an exhaust system? Like, I haven't really gotten that far. I don't think you've gotten that far.
I haven't either. I haven't. I don't have time to do that, but I'll do it live on the show, or not live, but I'll do it on the show. And anybody who saw me going live last week knows that perfection and my videos have nothing in common,
That's fine.
right? I think the first 20 seconds you saw my torso and me walking around as opposed to me sitting stationary and addressing everybody. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
People like, endearing videos where things aren't perfect. So at least I hope.
All right. Um, let's do this. Let's wrap things up. You send Mark a text and ask him if the sleigh starts because now we gotta know. We gotta know.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
know.
I'm on it.
And then we'll look forward to that on the YouTube video.
Next week it'll be on. It'll be live next week. So that's this week. I don't know. I may put out something with the hero cover guys, but yes, yes, I'm back. So
Yep. All right.
it's gonna
One
be
more
big.
week of not lifting anything, so be good. You're into it now. You've already invested in it. You've done well. You're
Yeah,
eating mushrooms and turkey bacon.
I'm eating mushrooms. I eat mushrooms. Yeah, I was eating mushrooms before, but they
Well,
were
that kind of
mushrooms.
mushrooms. You're eating avocados and turkey
And I'm
bacon.
dipping some kind of herbal some shit that's just absolutely horrible. But I had, hey man, it's all good. It's all good. I got to go out the right way. Number one, in the ring, and number two, I'd like to be hanging around for a couple more days, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully, all of it is extending my life expectancy, and I'm gonna freaking smash somebody. Whoever I'm wrestling, I hope the hell that they don't think that they're wrestling some 58-year-old who's normal because I wasn't normal before, and I'm really not normal now. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, brother. We'll see you next week. Until then, keep the air and the spare in the bag and the wheel.
Boom.